So the past 5 years, I've worked in long-term care, additionally as doing counseling in private practice, and it has been incredible to witness the family's experience of having a loved one in a long-term care home with diagnoses of dementia and other complex comorbidities. So maybe we're seeing like hypertension and congestive heart failure with Alzheimer's disease, and my parent is becoming frail, and this is the last chapter of their life. And I have absolutely loved working in palliative care and holding space not only for the resident and their experience and just being able to honor their personhood, however that looks, or be there at bedside when they are actively dying, as well as work with the caregivers throughout that whole journey of the last chapter of their life. And it is so important for people to have support around that. And I'm disappointed that still in mainstream society there is very little dialogue on palliative care. There's not a lot of talk about long-term care. There has been a lot more with all of the events COVID-19 has brought, which there has been some incredibly tragic realizations in Canada. I'll just speak to the Canadian context. And I think it's so important that there are more resources and education for people saying, okay, your loved one is going into long-term care. What do you need to know? And for the family members to be held and supported in their own experience of it too, because it's really tough for them. Oftentimes, it's almost harder for the family than the loved one with dementia. Just to say, I don't know who that person is anymore, or we call it kind of ambiguous loss. And it's this constant journey of, okay, well, they're losing more words, they're losing more memories, they're losing physical ability, now they're needing assistance to dine, now they're not able to walk anymore. When I show up, they don't know who I am, right? It's this constant loss that's ongoing, and people, I don't think, realize just how impactful that is, and understandably so, because it is such a difficult, devastating journey. Dementia is a very cruel disease. There is no cure. It's not going to get better, and it will be the end. And so it's how can I come alongside those folks to say, like, I'm here with you and your experience, and to help them find ways to deal with it. Sometimes it is those basic needs, like you need to go home and rest, or you don't need to visit every day, you're exhausted. Have you been eating? Are you getting enough water? Who's your support team? Are you accessing them? How are you feeling about this? Have you had time to even think about how you feel about this? So often their identity gets wrapped up in, I'm the caregiver, they need me. And now that they're in care, it's like we have a whole 24-hour team here that's taking care of those needs. How can you come back into a place of like, I'm now back in relationship with this person and taking that caregiver hat off to some degree?